discussing today a new topic, that is lesson number 17, paper 2, Independent India. The first general elections, first 30 years, 1947 to 77. So after independence, once we got independence, when we got independence? 1947, 15th August, isn't it? So after that, what are the 30 years? Because the 30 years are very important, how they developed, how they overcome many challenges and all we have to discuss. So the first 30 years is very important, that is 1947 to 77. These 30 years, what are the things were happened, how there were a lot of changes in that 30 years after departure of Britishers and all we discuss. First thing is, these are the learning objects, children. Every time if you are going to go through the lesson, then what you have to do? First you have to write the learning objects. What objects we have to learn? What objects we have to? You have to bifurcate. If you have to bifurcate like these objects, and each one detailedly you understand. Okay. First, what is the learning objects of this lesson is? First, Independent India introduction. In the textbook, how he has given, it is Independent India introduction. So how we got independence, and in that Britishers 200 years they were completely drained out our resources, and we were completely, our development became zero, isn't it? So from the zero level we have to start, and people were fed up and they lost complete their confidence on them. And being an agriculture country also, we are completely, there was a shortage in food grains and all. So people were very in a desperate position. Okay, so such a time, what we have to do? And he became the Prime Minister, and they were merged. Jawaharlal Nehru became the Prime Minister, and many other political leaders they made a framework for the government, and also they wanted to start general elections and many things, social and how to overcome these social and economic inequalities, and how to raise the political rights to be given to the people, and mostly 500 princely states were there at that time. So first thing in the introduction period, Independent India, they merged the princely states into government of India. Why they made that first thing? Why? Because these government 500 princely states, if we leave them, then what happens? They will rule their places as a kings again. So it will not be united. India will not be united, isn't it? So first, what they have done is completely 500 princely states were merged into government of India, and now everything is under one roof. Under one roof, we have to do all the things. Whatever things we have to do in a democratic country, it should be uniform. So all the rules, everything should be uniform. So that is Independent India and introduction. Next was general election. So when the Britishers were gone, everything is fine now. But what we have to do? First, how to start? In the constitution, what we have written? Every 5 years there will be a general elections. Why these elections? These elections are very much needed. Why? Because to govern the country, who will govern the country? How to govern the country? And how to take all the challenges, how to take up to overcome the difficulties and all the things. The elections are very important. So the first general elections started in 1952. And so that time, when the general elections were started, people at that time, Indian people were, most of them were illiterate. Most of them were illiterate, and they are facing poverty and so many superstitions, social and economical and political inequalities are there. So such a time, it is really a big task to conduct elections, but it is very much needed. So they started in 1952, the first general elections. But people are illiterate, they don't know how to read and write. So how will they judge a person and they will have a vote? So such a time, leaders will come up with an election commission will came up with a novel idea, that is what a symbol system. So that symbol system still today we are continuing. That symbol system, why they started that novel idea? Because people are illiterate. At least by seeing that symbol, they can identify so and so party. So and so party symbol, so and so people symbol, that is. Like that, they came up with a novel idea and they started, and they each, it's a gigantic process, very big task, and each and every town, each village, they have to go and they have recorded all the things. They went and all the record those who are people are above 18 years, and how many people had voting right, and how many constitutions are there. These are all screwed up, and everything they have done it finally, and first general elections was done. Next is one party dominance in the political system. So after elections, what was the result? The result was the party domination. The 30 years, why we are saying 30 years? Because in that 30 years, the same party, the single party, that is Congress party, was dominating all the parties. There are no other political system, no other political parties. Many parties are there, but the dominance of the party, one party, that is Congress party, that was the Congress party, and it was completely 30 years. See, here one thing we have to understand. When 30 years the same party means again the manifestation and again the corruption, there will be a chance for corruption and all. So again it will come as a it's not like a democracy. It will be somewhere somewhat what do you call aristocracy or king's rule thing, isn't it? So that dominance in the political party, how what are the situations are happening in that political party, and all we'll see in this lesson. And next, demand for state reorganization Act 1956. Demand for state reorganization. What is meant by state reorganization? State reorganization means the state, every state was organized. In what basis? Again, there is a question. On what basis we have to organize a state? The State Organization Act in 1946, what they thought is, it is better to divide as based on linguistic basis. Based on linguistic basis, the states can reorganize. Because at that time the people are all the languages, all the people are mixed up. So it is a better, because we have written in the constitution state and central, federal system is there. So such time what happens, when the state is reorganized on a linguistic basis, on a language basis, then what happens everywhere, whatever they can, government can communicate in the same language, isn't it? And people will have same language, they will have some comfort will be there, they will have in a comfort zone, and no reason, no people will dominate others, isn't it? These are so many reasons are there for that. That's why they organized based on a linguistic basis, language basis, they divided the state. States, all the states. So the state, that is according to State Reorganization Act 1956. And for example, Karnataka with Kannada and language, and Tamil Nadu with Tamil, and Kerala with Malayalam, okay, and Andhra Pradesh Telugu, and Telangana Urdu and Telugu, okay. And Manipuri, Punjab, Punjabi, Gujarati, Assam, Assami. Okay, like that, in everywhere, according to their languages, the states are reorganized. So it is better to, even for administrative convenience. For administrative convenience also, it is better the state reorganization. First, our Prime Minister and other people were scared about that if any problems arises, but it's a very good thing they have done at that time. Okay, that is State Reorganization Act. Next, social and economic changes. So, and one more thing is social and economic changes. These are very important. The Constitutional Assembly had called social, economical and political justice and equality of status and opportunity. It puts the social and economic change at the top of agenda modern India. So, social and economic inequality is most important in India. Why? Because we have a lot of caste system, really regional imbalances, religions, okay, and languages. According to this, what happened, and we have a caste system, and some people are, many people are poor and few people are rich. So that such discrimination, gender discrimination, and so many things, and varnas, castes, untouchables, and harijanas, like that, there is a, from generation wise, there is a lot of discrimination among the people. So what happens now, if you see, the social and economic inequalities are very much developed. So after even independence also, at least now we have to uplift them and we have to make it the same level. So social and economic changes, many social and economic changes have to improve. So how they improve for the how they improve that? So even Jawaharlal Nehru, he started a planning commission. He set up a planning commission in 1951, and he started in that 51 planning commission started, and 52 onwards it was implemented. And how it was implemented? Every 5 years there was a plan. Every 5 years one plan. Every 5 years one plan. So that means they made a timetable to the country. How? First of all, after departures of the Britishers, our development was completely zero, and even being an agricultural country, India is being an agricultural country, millions of people during the Britishers' time, millions of people died with the starvation. Millions of people, not one or two, millions of people were died with the starvation. So, being agriculture country, and we have very good rivers, perennial and peninsular rivers, and we have a good soils and all, everything is there. People are very hardworking. All these things, apart from all these things, we were completely zero at that time. So, what we have to do? So, government has to give, and abolition of Jamindari system, tenant system, land ceiling, these are all started. And these are the reforms. First we have to do the reforms, and after that planning commission, set up a planning commission, and every 5 years one plan. So with the every 5 years, the first 5 years they have given a complete priority to the agriculture. They have given a complete priority to the agriculture, only agriculture. So they surveyed, government surveyed all of the country, and what are the suitable dams can construct, in the reservoirs and dams can construct, and what are the things we can good seeds, HYV seeds, high yielding variety seeds we can put, and which soils are good for which crops, everything they surveyed, and finally they have given a lot of things to be, whatever the fertilizers, pesticides, and seeds, everything, water, irrigational facilities, everything gave to the public. And first 5 years they have given a lot of things to the people. Like that 10 years, 15 years they have done it according to 5-year plans. Then what happened? What was the result? The result was bumper result, and we are not only self-sufficient of food grains, but also we can easily export to the other countries. That stage we got because of the 5-year plan. So planning is needed for everything, even for education, even for any work, everything. Planning is very much needed. Okay, next is social economic change, foreign policies and wars. So once we got independence, till that time there was First World War, Second World War was happening, isn't it? So after that there was a Cold War was going on throughout the world, because world was divided into two parts, and some people are the secret alliances, militaries, everything we have learned in the 12th lesson, isn't it? So how to overcome such difficulty? If somebody is doing war, some other country is doing war also, we will be affected, isn't it? Our country also will be affected somewhat. So for that reason, how to foreign policy is very much needed. So what is our foreign policy? What is our foreign policy? What is meant by foreign policy? Towards other countries, towards other countries. So how will react? What is our policy? How will behave? How will maintain relations with other nations and all? So our foreign policy is non-alignment policy. What is this? Non-alignment policy. Non-alignment means non-joining anywhere. Either join in any group of the big countries. Why? If we joined any other group, remaining all may become enemies to us. So such a time, what we have to do, we should not align. We should not either join in any other group. Okay, either the USA or the Russia, whatever powerful groups. So our foreign policy is non-alignment policy. Next, the succession. Jawaharlal Nehru 64 Congress chose Lal Bahadur Shastri as the leader of the government, and during his term, Shastri faced challenges of anti-Hindi agitation. Again in India, see, till now we fought with the foreign countries. Now we have a lot of problems within India, isn't it? So this anti-Hindi agitation, the Hindi people, Hindi language is dominating more, and there they have given a lot of priority in the parliament, even in other other states because almost 9 states are speaking in Hindi language. So that was dominating. So remaining people also they went bad about their language. Everybody thought that the language is important for everyone, isn't it? And after that, and there was a lot of and official language became Rashtra Bhasha became Hindi. So such time there is a lot of revolution happened. Yeah, that is anti-Hindi agitation. And after that Green Revolution, we talked about the Green Revolution and rise of regional parties. There are a lot of regional parties who are slowly started. Regional parties, that means every state. For example, you take Andhra Pradesh TDP, and when you go to Tamil Nadu DMK, Assam Gana Parishad, Punjab Akali Dal, like that. So many regional parties in every state. Slowly rise of regional parties and regional movements started. And Bangladesh war, we had a war with Bangladesh and left turn with Indira Gandhi in 1970, and there was an emergency. These are all we discussed detailed in the next section, children. I hope everyone understood. Thank you. Have a nice day.